From translation, NIV New International Version. This 81 day of the year. Today we are reading passages, Judges 10 to 12. Judges chapter 10, verses 1 to 18. After the time of Abimelech, a man of Issachar named Tola son of Puah, the son of Dodo, rose to save Israel. He lived in Shamir in the hill country of Ephraim. He led Israel 23 years, then he died and was buried in Shamir. He was followed by Jair from Gilead, who led Israel 22 years. He had 30 sons who rode on 30 donkeys. They owned 30 towns in Gilead to this day, which are called Havoth-Jair. When Jair died, he was buried in Kaman. Again the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord. They served the Baals and the Ashtoreths, the gods of Aram, Sidon, Moab, Ammon, and Amalek. They forsook the Lord and did not serve him. So the Lord's anger burned against Israel, and he sold them into the hands of the Philistines and the Ammonites. They that year were crushed and greatly oppressed by the Ammonites, who 18 years oppressed all the Israelites living east of the Jordan in Amorite country. The Ammonites crossed the Jordan to fight also against Judah, Benjamin, and Ephraim. Israel was in great distress. Then the Israelites cried out to the Lord, "We have sinned against you, because we have forsaken our God and served the Baals." The Lord replied, "Did I not save you from the Egyptians, the Amorites, the Ammonites, the Philistines, the Sidonians, Amalek and Midian, when they oppressed you? And you cried to me for help, and I saved you out of their hands. But the Israelites said to the Lord, 'We have sinned. Do with us whatever you think best, but please rescue us now.' The leaders of the people of Gilead said to each other, 'Whoever will take the lead against the Ammonites will be head over all who live in Gilead.'" Judges chapter 11, verses 2 to 39. Gilead's wife also bore him sons, and when they grew up, they drove Jephthah away and said to him, "You are not going to inherit any of our father's property, because you are the son of another woman." Some time later, when the Ammonites made war against Israel, said they, "Come, be our commander, so we can fight the Ammonites." But Jephthah replied to the elders of Gilead, "Haven't you hated me and driven me from my father's home? Why do you come to me now when you're in trouble?" The elders of Gilead said to him, "Nevertheless, we are turning to you now. Come with us to fight the Ammonites, and you will be our head over all who live in Gilead." Jephthah answered, "If you take me back to fight the Ammonites and the Lord gives them to me, am I to be your head?" The elders of Gilead replied, "The Lord is our witness. We will certainly do as you say." Then Jephthah sent messengers to the Ammonite king with the message, "What do you have against me, that you have attacked my land?" The Ammonite king answered Jephthah's messengers, "When Israel came up out of Egypt, they took away my land from the Arnon to the Jabbok, all the way to the Jordan. Now restore it peaceably." Jephthah sent back messengers to the Ammonite king, and Jephthah made a vow to the Lord, "If you give the Ammonites into my hands, whatever comes out of the door of my house to meet me when I return in triumph from the Ammonites will be the Lord's, and I will sacrifice it as a burnt offering." When he saw her, he tore his clothes and cried, "Oh, my daughter, you have brought me down and I am devastated. I have made a vow to the Lord that I cannot break." "My father," she replied, "you have given your word to the Lord. Do to me just what you promised, now that the Lord has avenged you of your enemies, the Ammonites. But let me be 2 months alone in the hills and weep, because I will never marry, for I will never have relations with a man." After the 2 months she returned to her father, and he did to her as he had vowed, and she was a virgin. From this comes the Israelite custom. Judges chapter 12, verses 1 to 15. The Ephraimites gathered together and crossed over to Zaphon. They said to Jephthah, "Why did you go to fight the Ammonites without calling us to go with you? We're going to burn down your house over you. When I saw that you wouldn't help, I took my life in my hands and crossed over to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gave me the victory over them. Why have you come up today to fight me?" Jephthah then called together the men of Gilead and fought against Ephraim. The Gileadites struck them down because the Ephraimites said, "You Gileadites are renegades from Ephraim and Manasseh." The Gileadites captured the fords of the Jordan leading to Ephraim, and whenever an Ephraimite fugitive said, "Let me cross over," the men of Gilead asked him, "Are you an Ephraimite?" If he replied no, then Abdon son of Hillel died, and was buried at Pirathon in Ephraim, in the hill country of the Amalekites.